Hi, I'm David from digitaltvhelp.com.au. In this video I'm going to show you how to strip back a coax cable, either an RG59 or an RG6 cable, to be ready to put a connector on the end of it. So I have here a piece of RG6 Quad Shield cable, and I have a couple of different tools that can be used to strip back that cable. The first type I'm going to show you is this rectangular type of tool. It's a quite versatile tool because it can be used to strip back both RG6 cable and RG59. So to use the device, it's got a little clamp there that keeps it closed. So we just open it up first of all. We take our cable, and there's some cutting blades in here that enable it to be stripped back. So the first position we want to put it in is this position for RG6 on the outside. Now your tool may differ depending on what brand it is, but most of them will be fairly similar to this. So I'm putting the cable in there up to the stop position that you can see there. There's a piece of plastic there that stops the cable from going too much further. Then I simply close it with my thumb. So now the device is closed. From there I hold the cable firmly and twist back and forth. You do that until you stop feeling any resistance. Once you've stopped feeling that resistance, I can then go and pull off without releasing it, and there we have the first stage of the strip of the cable. So now I can just remove the waste material from that. So at this first stage of the strip we have just the bare conductor on the inside, and we've removed all the outside sheath, the outside dielectric, and all we've got is the bare conductor in the middle. So then we take the second RG6 position, that's further to the inside on this one. So again I put it in position again, so I'm going, this time I take the sheath all the way till it's to the plastic part. So you've got the metal conductor extending above the sheath, above the plastic piece there, and now I clamp it down again. So now I twist it back and forth the same way I did last time, but not quite as vigorously. I don't need to go all the way through the cable. So now that I'm fairly happy with that, I'll pull it off, remove the excess material again, and there we have it. So I have the outside metal shield left there. The plastic or PVC urethane sheath has been removed, and I've got the core. So that's how your stripped cable needs to look. Now, one thing you do need to double check is to make sure that none of the metal shards are touching the inside conductor. If you have a piece of metal from the outside going onto the inside, that will cause you lots of trouble. So I'm going to actually remove this extra layer of foil here, because on a quad shield cable you have multiple layers of foil and mesh. That piece of foil is not needed and will make it hard to use the connector. So I've removed that from there. And now I'm ready to put the connector on. Now I'm going to demonstrate the other type of tool that can be used as well, which is this tool that turns around the cable. So that's this type here. There's many different brands of these ones as well. They're a little bit harder to use than the rectangular ones because they will require some adjustment. There's some screws here which are used to adjust the depth of the cutting blades, and you will need to adjust it when you first get your tool to make sure it will match the cable that you're using. That can just be done with a flat blade screwdriver. So I just take the cable, put it in the trench. So you'll see I've just got a little bit of an excess bit of cable out the other side. That's about how long you want it to be. Then I push this orange lever in till it clamps onto the cable. So that's probably the first stage. It clicks on, so I'll push it about 3 clicks onto the cable, and now I'll rotate it around. Now I'm going to push it on further, rotate it around again, and then I release. So now nothing's happened there. They're still on the cable. But if I take my thumb and hand and go like that, off it comes. Now in this case I haven't cut deeply enough into it, so therefore it hasn't come off. But there you go. So now it is all stripped back nicely. So the good thing about these tools, particularly if you're using RG6 Quad Shield cable, is it has that graduated levels on the sheath. That makes it actually easier to get onto a connector. Again, I'm making sure that there is no shards of metal touching from the outside onto the inside conductor, because that would stop the connector from working correctly. And that's how you do it. All done.